I'm back, and I know I'm talking fast, but I can't help it because I'm trying to get everything in. And okay, so this right here is the book that I've been using as a reference. I also been to the ruins, not this year, years back before, so I have actually experienced the ruins, which is nice. Again, if you go to the market and all that kind of stuff, you're going to see all this kind of symbolism there, tourist stuff. So you look through the book, and really what you're doing is like, what just grabs you? What do you feel? What do you see that's kind of like, wow, I love that. You don't know why. Try to get your subconscious there. Like, what are you gravitated towards? Now, sometimes my students, especially, they'll go for the easiest thing, which is fine. But sometimes it's a little hard to grade the easiest thing. This right here, I'm gravitated towards. I actually love that. I love that as a pin. This is just beautiful. I love it abstractly. I just love everything about this. So we're gonna do something like that. And I am going to trace the circle. Let me get a bigger tracer. I just have, these come in handy as coasters too. So you can either draw the circle, freehand it, or trace it. I want to get a neutral color pencil or charcoal pencil. So as again, sometimes the brown works nice too. So I'm just going to draw the circle. Look around the house. Everybody has stuff around the house. Okay, put my coaster back here. Again, everything is a shape. So basically, to get these arrows here, I would lightly just draw it real light, going across. You could always erase that down the line. So we have 4. Real light. Use the side of your pencil. 3, 4. Okay, next the arrows are just triangles, which is easy. Okay, and then the back of the thing is just a square, and then it looks like a mustache. Okay, so got that. Now this actually might need to come out a little bit, but that's all right. Because you have, and then this has a cross here. It's just a sketch anyway. Okay, now around there they have this pattern. So basically the pattern going around, as you can see it, you could make ovals. I'm going to do little squares going around. So the whole thing is basically going to be squares going around. Again, anyone can do this. If I was doing this on the blackboard, I would do it step by step with my students, and maybe I would talk about the artifact, like the art history about it as I'm drawing it, especially drawing this part here because it's just kind of repetitive. I might talk about, like, you know, read about it beforehand and just put a couple facts so that as they're drawing, I'm just telling them a little bit about the art history of the artifact, or whatever. I'm drawing a little history of what I'm drawing, or maybe I'll talk about the Aztec. Maybe I'll talk about the experience of my trip. So I get that art history in there, and they don't realize they're even getting art history, which is nice. Not that there's anything wrong with art history, but the kids just, it's not that I don't think they dislike art history. They just need a break from the books, from the other classes that are so structured and use the book work and tests and all that kind of stuff. So I try to put it in there other ways that they don't realize it, that they're getting it. High school students, if it was a freshman class, I might draw step by step, but the older kids, I would have them use their iPads. I would have a book out on the table. They like the technology. They end up doing the iPads. I have a folder of image I collect. I would have a book on the table, and then I would give them some choices. I would say metalwork from from the Aztec ruins, anything metal. So I like to give them a little bit more choices as far as that's concerned, high school kids. And then the older you get. And if you're in that age group, then you do what I tell you to do. Use the iPad, or you use the books, a combination of things, whatever motivates you. Even if it's there and you're really not using it, but the book's there, it's open, subconsciously, it does really help. Okay. Okay, so now I just want to erase these lines here in the middle. Okay. The next thing here is, it looks like steps in that design. Okay, you can see right here I had to add the step, I didn't do it. And you definitely could see now, like, how the influence of the ruins. When you're drawing, these must be the steps of the pyramids. That's what this really feels like, the steps of the pyramids. And I didn't see that right away. And I really love the turquoise right here, and with the gold, it's really beautiful. It kind of gives you different color, how to work with different shades of color. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we got 11 of these little feathers, and I didn't read the information about this, but I'm wondering if that is symbolic too, because usually 11, that's an odd number. 1, 2, 3. It's 11. Oh, probably for the centerpiece. I know sometimes odd numbers in still life, I like to use odd objects because it's more interesting. I'm doing, as I'm doing these feathers, I'm doing a couple on each side, so that way they're balanced. I don't have like 5,000 feathers on this one side. I could always change it. 2, 3, 4. You can tell I went too close together with this one. So now I'm just going to have to make an artistic judgment here and just add an extra one. I just put a line there so it's there. I just had to do an artistic thing because there really is 11 and I put 12. Okay, so that's that. So that's your first base. You did it. Okay, then if you want to put something in the background and all that stuff, the first thing again, that you're attracted to it. All right, mine's more not really realistic, but I'm okay with that. I got the watercolor. I don't have my best brushes here because I'm using these with the kids. My watercolor, you get, oh, dude. Because the eye, here we go. Very clumsy. That's why I got the insurance for the iPhone too. All about the insurance. And I went through Apple. I like Apple works really well with the insurance. I used it for my computer, and they're very easy to work with for insurance, Apple. Okay. So, I have my scrap rag, and that's like an old pillowcase. It doesn't take up any room in my luggage. Here we go. And I could start painting it in. So this is more of a teal color, so I'm going to do blue and green. The top part everybody doesn't realize, but that's a palette for mixing colors. If you wanted to mix your colors, you can use this here. The longer you let the water sit on your palette, the more opaque it becomes. So if I wanted to, I can actually just add water to all these while I'm working, so that way they're all ready to go and it gets more opaque. The paper I'm using here really isn't watercolor paper, but it's a nice hard stock paper. Brushes are just okay. They could have been better. I was rushing around. I kind of just got brushes thinking I would just donate it to the school when I'm done that I'm at right now. So anytime you do watercolors, you always want to start off real light and airy. And again, if you mess up, the best thing to do is you really need to study is to work with your mistakes. You just dab and let it, see how much you picked up? That's what you really need to do with watercolor, is to work with your mistakes and let it dab. And I'm all about, I'm not so much a purist with the watercolors. As you can see, I do the mixed medium. It's not the teal that I wanted, but that's okay. You have to work what you have. I have another palette here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put some. I definitely need it on the gold. Okay, here we go. And see, when it's wet, it bleeds out. Another little trick is to sprinkle some salt on the areas. When I do that with the kids, sometimes they put too much salt in the area. So this video is a combination, if you're a teacher, if you're at any age, hopefully that you get something out of this. And if you're an artist viewing the video, sometimes it's just to get another input with another artist to get motivated what they're doing. I watch videos on other artists, what they're doing. And sometimes it's relaxing even to have on YouTube as you're doing your own artwork in the background. It's like watching TV, you're watching it, but you're not watching it. And then, of course, my high school students. Alright, if I was in the classroom, you can see I just went out of lines, I don't even care. If I was in the classroom, I would do a quick demo. But again, they can't wait to start painting. So I just do a fast little demo of how light and then transparency layers. I would have some examples on the board, and I usually always hang up the students' work that is doing the process and great examples. I hang them up. I have thumbtacks and I have a cork board that I keep empty, and then at the end of the class, I'm like, oh, hang that up for the next class. And that kind of works. High school, you can kind of do that more than elementary. Elementary, the kids might feel bad if their artwork's not hanging up and not understand, and it could work against you to kind of get their self-esteem up. High school, I can be a little tougher that way. Because if I hang it up, that means it's good. And the kids know that. It's really relaxing. I love painting. I can't now see what I did something completely different. This was supposed to be gold, and I just went for the teal. Oh well, I gotta work with my mistakes, right? That's what I tell everyone else. Work with their mistakes. So here I'm gonna have to work with it. I got so caught up with the teal paint that I painted something that was gold. But again, I kind of use that as a reference. It depends on what your goal is when you're painting. If you're doing it as a exact replica, then of course you would do exactly. You know, some people get motivated by doing exactly what they see. I've done that before too with clay, where I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I did it exactly like the picture. And the thing too is when you're painting, all right, this is just the gold to, you know, to make look at the gold, but really what's going to make this come alive down the line is the highlights and the shadows. That's what's going to make it three-dimensional and really give it that look. You can see where it bleeded out into the blue. We'll stab it, it goes away a little bit. Okay, and I'm mixing a little gold, a little yellow, and a little bit of brown for this color gold I'm working with here. Okay, this video is going to be a little too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off, finish this area up, and then turn it back on so you can see it.